Hello and welcome to my Kunkka jungling guide.
Hello!
And believe it or not, it is actually not as terrible as it sounds. I honestly believe that Kunkka jungling is legit because Kunkka can get a lot of work done with just a few levels, and then you also have the option to run these early mid ganks. Depending on the mid matchup, you can gank alone, or maybe you have to smoke with the other support. And these early mid ganks are especially good against escape heroes like Quap Potom, because X is just so great against Blink and Leap and stuff like that. So to jungle this way with Kunkka is an option that can give you a fast level 3, so you can set up these early X torrent ganks. That is the first option. The second option is just to jungle until you get level 6 or 7, at which point you can gank any lane with a very high probability of success. And with first glance I thought Kunkka jungling would just be really slow and terrible, but actually with this tactical suicide that I'm so fond of, it is actually pretty fast. First I had this idea to just skip the stout shield completely and go straight in for a blazer or a blades of attack for face boots, and then just jungle using this kind of hit and run style. It was an interesting idea, but in the real world you just have to have a stout shield when you're jungling, including Kunkka. Jungling without stout shield is just too slow. And also I realized that it's kind of a bad idea to go face drum Shadowblade when you're jungling Kunkka, because one, you won't have enough farm to go carry. You won't do enough damage with the Tidebringer, so don't bother. And two, I think the crowd control Kunkka is just straight up better. I think the best build on Kunkka right now is Veil of Discord Aetherlens. And the cool thing about this is that the Veil of Discord got a pretty good build up for when you're jungling. So let me take you through exactly how I would jungle Kunkka. First of all, if you want to, you can cut down some trees here to create a path which allows you to rotate a tiny bit faster between the camps. And also it makes it easier to stack the medium camp. I start with Tidebringer IT Tangos, and then I cut down this one tree here, getting ready to do the choke point jungling. But actually, as you can see, I'm not doing the choke point jungling right now. And that's because if you get centaurs or wolves here in the very first camp, then you can actually kill it in time to still stack the hard camp. But you can only do this if you tank the entire camp, because if you do the choke point jungling, then some of the creeps will run away from you and then you won't hit them with the Tidebringer, and then you won't be in time to stack the hard camp. And also the HP is not super important right now because you're gonna do the tactical suicide here soon. But after you've done the tactical suicide, then you should choke point jungle normally, because then you take less damage. If you aim to stack the hard camp right now, then you should only IT the big creep once, because it's nice to stack with the IT, especially when you're melee. But if you're too late to stack the first camp here, it's not a big deal, it's just a nice bonus if you can manage to stack it. So as you can see here, now I just choke point jungle normally, so only one of the creeps can hit me at a time. And notice that I'm using my tangos to kind of balance my HP, because I want to suicide to the hard camp immediately after I've killed this medium camp twice. As soon as you hit level 2, you just spam the turret because you're gonna suicide anyway, so you don't care about the mana right now. Before you suicide, buy a stout shield, a TP, plus whatever else you have money for, either a tangos, a branch, or a fairy fire. The suicide timing here is perfect because I'll actually be in time to stack the hard camp again after I respawn. TP to the mid tier 2 tower, then at 150 exactly you turn the hard camp, because that will stack the camp again. And I actually managed to do a little bit of chip damage along the way to this hard camp, but this is the reason it is better to suicide to the hard camp. You die faster, and also you can do some damage to the hard camp before you die. So when I've killed the wolves here, I'll have my level 3, and then I will actually be able to clear the hard camp stack now, which is a huge boost very early in the game. If you haven't been able to damage the stack a little bit along the way like I did, then it might be better to just clear it once you're level 5 and have the level 3 Tidebringer. Or you can even wait until you're level 6 and then you can clear with the boot. But in this game I did it perfectly, so I can clear it right now. And of course, I just staggered one more time here at the 3 minute mark. Notice that I always IT the big creep in the camp, which got the most HP left. To clear this camp here is a little bit of hit and run, and then I use my torrent together with my Tidebringer, because this way I take as little damage as possible. So this is a level 5 at 3.5 minutes, and it's a level 6 at 4.5 minutes, and even for a tier 1 jungler, this is good level timings. And this is not a tier 1 jungler, this is a freaking Kunkka, which is hilarious. But you should expect to reach level 6 between 5 and 6 minutes. To push it under the 5 minute mark like I did here is really difficult, you have to do everything right. With your level 6, I think you should go back to the base, get full mana and then gank something. But you can of course also stay in the jungle and then farm your Veil of Discord. But with Kunkka jungle, I really feel like you should gank something as soon as you see the opportunity. The point of Kunkka jungling is to get some fast levels on Kunkka, so you can get some more levels in your X lot sooner without having to commit Kunkka as your mid hero. You'll need a lot of levels in your X because that increases your cast range, so the moment you leave the jungle, I think you should stop skilling the Tidebringer and then just start maxing your X instead. Alright, well if you just wanna AFK jungle until you got the Veil completed, then fine, you can max Tidebringer. But in most cases, I think it's best to just leave Tidebringer on level 2 or level 3 and then go gank with some more level 10x. No matter what, I think it's best to leave Torrent on level 1 when you're jungling Kunkka. If you're wondering why I get the Veil before the Arcane Boots Ether Lens, then it's because the Veil is just a much better builder for when you're jungling. Veil gives you HP regen, it gives you armor and damage, and that's exactly what you need as a jungling Kunkka. And also you can get the 2 Null Talismans, which is a nice damage increase early in the game. Big shout out to Alan Martinez who sparked my interest in the Kunkka jungling. As it turns out, Kunkka jungling is a lot better than either of us had expected, I think. I really like the position for Kunkka because he's just the best hero at ganking the mid lane. He owns TA, he owns Blink heroes, he owns everybody. X marks the spot is just the best skill in the game for when you 3-man gank the mid lane. I have never in my life seen anybody else jungle Kunkka, so I'm dying to know what you guys think about this. Let me know in the comments, feel free to subscribe, and thanks for watching.
I haven't seen such a pack of tree weasels since we rousted the Trembling Isles free of all the tree weasels.